Welcome back, everyone. So up next we are looking at adjusting the project for deploy on the Android platform. So there are some things we need to change, so that this log project can work on the Android platform. This was not in the main tutorial by Mythical Game Dev, but I decided to just try it out and see how adapting the project for other platforms like Android, mobile, and VR for the MetaQuest would look like. So in this tutorial, we're looking at the breakdown for the Android platform. So one of the first things is the widget blueprints. So I have to create an Android version. So let's look at that. So go to log UI, and I duplicated the code we've been using and adjusted it for mobile. So here we go. So I moved these and these up so that we can our controls won't obstruct them. So the left joysticks and the buttons on the right won't obstruct them. So the other things remain the same. So that's the major change here. So let's look at the UI next for the inputs. So let's go back one level and go to inputs, and there is the widget blueprints for the inputs. Let's dock this. So here we can see the touch inputs for the mobile platform. So I made some adjustments. By default, the project, the templates I worked with, which is the first person template, already has the this setup for mobile. So I just created my own version from the one that is there. So I added a couple of other things like this interact, shoot, and reload buttons. I had to add them. There's the left, like the primary joystick on the left, so the primary thumbstick was already there. There was also a secondary thumbstick on the right, which I think I scaled it to 0. So because the feel wasn't quite as good, I thought it would be better to just have the whole right section of the screen to aim instead of having a thumbstick, since I feel that that's actually makes for a better player experience. So I think I scaled it somewhere. Where did I do that? So let's quickly check through here. I think there's a place for the transform. Yeah, so you can see the scale is 0 and 0. So let's take it back to 1 and 1 and see. So you can see the thumbstick here. So yeah, I felt it wasn't necessary. Then I added these buttons as well. I just duplicated the jump. The jump was already there, although it did not have the text jump on it, so I added that. So I just duplicated that, the size box, and adjusted them for these other buttons. And I did bind them, like the interacts, the jump. I did bind them so that they can actually function. Let's see. So I bind the button. Yeah, so I bind the button not the size box, the buttons actually. So on pressed, then we check out the blueprints, the graph aspect. So we can see for the move and aim, that's already set up by default, and the jump as well. So I just added these for the shoot, reload, interact. So on button pressed for all of them, and plug in the controlled point so that it works. So that was it. And you also notice this interface, and what I did while implementing this touch was I looked at the way it was implemented in the original one, and I saw that they implemented it using an interface. They implemented the touch using an interface, so I decided to create an interface as well and implement that in the character through the interface. So you can see the interface. So I added the shoot, reload, and interact because the jump and the movements were already implemented. So I had to add these three so that they could be implemented in the interface and in the character through the interface. So let's have a look at the block shooter character blueprints. Go to blueprints, then block shooter character. So first of all, let's just head over here. So in the block shooter character, this was where I actually added the get blueprints. Let's see. So I changed the default widget blueprints, the hot, which was for the PC based experience before I changed it to the mobile that I created. So which I just showed. So I did that. Then in the class settings, this was where I added the interface, the touch interface, because there already is the existing interface which was already created with the templates to handle things like let's take a look at it, to handle things like the movements. You can see here, handles the movements, the aim, the jump. Yeah. So in addition to that, I added the block shooter character which handles the interact, reload, and each other one and shoot. So that all of them can be implemented. So you can see the implementation here, all in the blueprints. The shoots will call the do start firing method exposed in the shooter character C++ file. Reload will call the reload from the lock shooter character this time, which I exposed, and the touch, the interact will call the do interact. I renamed this along the line when I was implementing things in my own project. From the normal interact from the main story, I changed it to do interact because I was having some trouble, so I had to just iterate for a few things, and in the end I ended up changing the name. So that's it for that. So I had to change those things in this block, add these things to the block shooter character. So on adding this, I also implemented the touch. Remember that I scaled the secondary thumbstick to 0 so the player can't use this. So I have to find another way, some other tutorial online that helped with the touch for the aim with using the actual screen, touching anywhere on the two-thirds of the right portion of the screen to adjust the aim of the player. So I just did a bunch of things using this input touch. I use it to update these custom in events. So what I did was following the other tutorial. I did get the viewport size, the actual horizontal size, that's the x, divided it by 3. So and what this is just checking is if the touch is on the is greater than like 1/3 of the screen, that means it's on like dividing the screen into 3. So if the touch is on the 2 rightmost thirds of the screen, so then it is going to use that input to set the x position. So it's going to use that. It's going to use that to set the x and y position, just along the xy plane. And so using that, then another bunch of calculation to control sensitivity, and then I decided to plug those into the aim, so into like this aim, so that it can update the player's aim as appropriate. So that's the other thing I did. Then to test in the editor, you can just ensure in your project settings, go to edit, project settings, go to input under engine, go to input, then scroll down. You ensure first thing is always show touch interface, so that you can see the mobile interface, which you can test in the editor, and also use mouse for touch, so that you can use the mouse to simulate touch events. So yeah, and also your maps and modes. So if that's not set up correctly, ensure it is set up. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching the tutorial. Yeah, I'll see you next tutorial. So you can see the first 1/3 of the screen doesn't control the aim. It weirdly controls the primary thumbstick instead. But once I get to this second, second of the 1/3 and the third aspect, the second and third sections of the screen, it controls the aim like this. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So I don't know why touching outside the primary okay, why it still controls it. I'm guessing it's it has a range outside the actual circle that can still control like this, but when it gets here it's not controlling. But anyways, yeah, another bug or something to fix later on would be when I actually do this for mobile, I can't if I'm moving around with the primary joystick, I can't adjust the aim at the same time. So that's something else to fix, but for now the game works, so, which is good enough for the intent that I wanted. So thank you very much, guys. See you around.